I want to become a teacher because I am inspired by the teachers before me. I had really great teachers in my life that have impacted who I am today, and I hope that I can be that for my students one day. And I'm also just passionate about education and leading the future leaders of this world. So I want to pass on what was taught to me, and I think that every child deserves an adult in their life who cares about them and wants to see them be successful, and I want to be that adult. What I anticipated would be the biggest challenge in preparing to become a teacher was all of the prep work to get through it. It has been a long 4 years, but it has been worth it every minute. It's a lot of work to get here, but I think it's such a rewarding career and it's something I've always wanted to do, so it has always been worth it to me. And I think that the challenge just makes you a better teacher and educator because you understand that things can be hard, but it's worth it to get through. And I want to inspire my students to do the same. If they know that I can get through it, I know that they can get through it too. A time that I received professional feedback that surprised me was probably when I was in my first year residency. I was an instructional aide for the I was an instructional aide in the class where we pull out students, and what surprised me was from that teacher. It was a lot of work. It was something that I had not anticipated going into it. Something I thought I would be able to handle while also doing my student teaching, and so what surprised me was she came to me and she basically told me that she realizes that I need help, and that was something I wasn't ready for. I don't like to ask for help. That's something I struggle with for sure. So realizing that I needed help and needed to ask, but that's something I got better at as we went through it. I learned how to slow down and ask for help when I need it and take time to do what's best for my students. Okay, how would I help a student that's struggling to learn a concept I'm teaching? A way that I like to help students learn is identifying what ways work best for them. So as a person, as a learner myself, I'm very hands-on. I prefer things to be where I can actively do it myself. So I like to learn what kind of learning style works best for my students, as well as offer multiple different types of learning. So especially when it comes to math, like counting cubes or using counters or whatever, my students use in first grade. It helps them, I find, to have different ways to present a problem and to solve it and give them options so that they don't feel stuck and like there's only one way to do things, because I know that's something I struggle with is trying to find different differentiation in my teaching. Classroom management can be a challenge. How would I respond to a student being disrespectful to me? For me, a student being disrespectful is more about them than it is about me. I feel like students often take things out on us in ways that they don't mean to, maybe because they feel more comfortable or because it just could be a challenge for them. And my biggest thing that I like to give them is I like to give grace and assume that it's not me that they're upset with, it's probably something else. And so my first step would probably be to conference with the student one-on-one. I don't like when teachers pull them up in front of the class or embarrass in front of a class. I'd rather do a one-on-one conference and talk to that student about maybe what it is they're going through or why they thought it was okay to be disrespectful, and come up with boundaries between us that you can't talk to adults like that and you can't treat adults a certain way, but at the same extent that I'm willing to look past it and I want to get a relationship with them. So ultimately, I think maintaining a good relationship helps with disrespect and classroom management in general, is knowing that they should be comfortable enough with me that they can talk to me, but not too comfortable that they know their boundaries within and limits within classroom management. And yeah, that's all.